chain 5, and once again I've done my last chain of 3, and I'm going to slip stitch into that chain 1 from the beginning. So slip stitching into that chain 1 to close the round. Alright, so for round 6 we're going to chain up 2, 1, 2, then alright, I'm actually using my test Bolero that I did for this design as a reference because the instructions that I wrote down are not as clear as I probably thought they were. Anyway, doesn't matter. So we've chained up 2. Now we're going to put a double crochet into that first stitch right there beneath the chain of 2. So that stitch there, double crochet 1, and then moving on, we're going to put 3 double crochets into the chain space, into the next chain space just there. So 1 and 2 and 3. Then moving on, we're going to put a double crochet into that single crochet that we did into that next chain space beneath the, that one. So into the single crochet, double crochet into that stitch, just like that. Then moving on, 3 double crochets into the next chain space along. So 1, 2, and 3. Then moving on, the next single crochet just there, double crochet into that stitch. So you can do that all the way around, and by the end of this round you should end up with, what does it say, 64 stitches. That's what it's telling me. Yes, 64 stitches. So count when you get to the end of this round. I will meet back up with you then, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alright, now here I am at the end, and I've counted them, and I do have 64 stitches. So now to close the round, we're just going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2. So let's do that together. So there's the chain of 2 from the beginning, slip stitching into the top of that to close the round. Alright, now what we do next is, for round 7, it is round 7, yes. Round 7, we chain up 1, chain 1, and we're going to be putting half double crochets into every stitch around. Yes, half double crochets into every stitch around, and when you get to the end, so half double crochets, yarn over, show you properly, half double crochet is yarn over, and I'm doing the stitch right beneath that chain of 1. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, so you have 3 loops on your hook, then yarn over, pull through all those 3 loops. So half double crochet. You're going to be putting 1 into every stitch all the way around, and when you get to the end of this round you should still have 64 stitches. So I'll meet back up with you then, and we will talk about how to do round 8. Alright, now here I am at the end of the round, and I've put in my 64th half double crochet. So to close the round, I'm just going to once again slip stitch into the top of the chain 1 from the beginning. So into that stitch just there, or into that chain, top of the chain 1 to close the round. Just like that. And there we go, and that's what it's going to start to look like. It's very pretty. Alright, now what we do from here is round 8, we chain up 2, 1, 2, and we're going to be putting our first stitch into that stitch right beneath the chain of 2, because it seems like that's what we're doing at the moment. Alright, yeah. So we're going to be doing 7 double crochets along, and when we get to the 8th one, it's going to be 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So let's do this first part together. So counting 1, next stitch 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then when you get to the 8th stitch, so the next one along, it's 2 double crochets. So where are we? 8th stitch, that one. 1 and 2 into the same stitch. So I'll try and get a bit closer. So another one into that same stitch. And we're going to be doing that all the way around. Every 8th stitch is going to have 2 double crochets. So when you get to the end of this round, you're going to have, let's have a look, 72 stitches. Alright, so I'll meet back up at count the stitches as you go, just to make sure you've got the right stitch count. Because if you get it wrong, it can all go wrong. Alright, so I'll meet you at the end of this one, and we'll count our stitches separately. We don't need to do that together, but there should be 72, and then once we've done that, we're going to talk about what to do for round 9. Alright, here I am at the end of round 8, and I've counted my stitches to find that I do in fact have 72 stitches, so that's good. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the beginning, so there's the chain 2, slip stitching into the top of that to close the round once again, and moving on to round 9, once again we are chaining up 2. We're going to put 1 double crochet into the next 8 stitches, and then 2 double crochets into the 9th. So you're going to be doing that all the way around till you get to the end. So 1 double crochet, 8 stitches, 2 double crochets every 9th stitch along. So by the end of this round, you're going to have 80 stitches. So once again, just count as you go. Make sure you've got those 80 stitches when you've finished. And then, once we've finished round 9, we're going to meet back up again and we're going to talk about how to do round 10. Alright, now here I am at the end of round 9. And to close the round, we're just going to once again slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 from the beginning. There's the chain 2, slip stitching into the top of that. Just like that. Alright, now for round 10, we're going, oh no, don't drop that yarn on the floor. We're going to grab some more yarn, and then we're going to chain up 1. So 1. And then we're going to put a single crochet into the first stitch. So that one right beneath the chain of 1. Put 1 single crochet, then chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. Then moving on, we're going to skip the next stitch along, so skipping the next stitch, put a single crochet into the stitch after that, so into every second stitch, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip the next stitch, single crochet into the stitch after that. So we're skipping 1 stitch each time we chain 3. 3, skip, single crochet. And you're going to do that all the way till the end. So by the end of this round, you're going to have 40 chain spaces. So count them when you get to the end. 1, 2, 3, skip a stitch, single crochet into the next one along. So that's what that's going to look like. Alright, I'll meet back up with you at the end of round 10. This one's fairly straightforward. Make sure you've got those 40 chain spaces. And then, once we've done that, we're going to talk about how to do round 11. Alright, now that I've finished round 10, and I'm doing my last chain of 3 for the end of the round. So 1, 2, 3. Then to close the round, we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 1 from the beginning. So let's make sure that's, yep. Slip stitching to the top of that chain 1 to close the round. There we go. So that's round 10. Now moving on to round 11, we're going to chain up 1 and then put a single crochet straight from that chain 1 into that first chain space. So single crochet, chain 3. Moving on to the next chain space, we're going to single crochet, chain 3, and so on. We're going to do that till the end of the round. And then once again you'll slip stitch into the top of the chain 1, chain up 1. And we're doing we're repeating the round we're doing now until we've finished round 14. So this is from, what are we doing? Round 11 through to round 14 are all the same. So that's single crochet, chain space, chain 3, single crochet, chain space. And so there'll be 40 chain spaces for each round up until we get to round 15, which will be different. So once we reach round 15, we're going to meet back up and we're going to talk about what we're going to do at that point. Alright, see you soon. Alright, now that I've finished round 14 and I've slip stitched into the top of the chain 1 from the beginning of the round, I'm going to start on round 15. So to do that, we're going to focus the camera and then we're going to chain up 1 and we're going to half double crochet into that first stitch, so the stitch beneath the chain 1, half double crochet, then we're going to half double crochet into, 3 half double crochets into that chain space, so 1, 2 and 3 half double crochets. Then moving on to the next stitch along, so the next stitch just into that chain space from the previous round, into the next stitch along, half double crochet, followed by 3 half double crochets into the next chain space. So that's how the pattern's going to go for this round. Half double crochet into the stitch, 3 half double crochets into the chain space all the way around till you get to the end. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do that. And then by the end of this round you should have 160 stitches. So once we get to that point, we're going to meet back up and we're going to talk about what to do for round 16. So just once again, so it's half double crochet into the stitch, 1 half double crochet into the stitch, 3 half double crochets into the chain space, 2 and 3. Alright, see you at the end of the round. Alright, now that I've finished round 15, I've put my 160 half double crochets all the way around. That was 1 into the first stitch, 3 into the chain space, 1 into the next stitch, and so on. So we've done that, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 1 from the beginning to close the round, just like that. There we go, round closed. Now, for round 16, for round 16, what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 2, 1, 2, and we're just going to put a double crochet into every stitch around. So that'll be 160 double crochets all the way around, very simple round. I'm just going to do that all the way till the end. And then, I don't think we need to meet back up because for rounds 17, 18 and 19 we're doing exactly the same. It's going to be 160 double crochets all the way around. So once you get to the end of round 16, you're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2, chain up 2, another 160 stitches around. So yeah, you're going to be doing that for this round and then also the next 3 rounds after that. So up to round 19. And then once we've done that, we're going to meet back up after round 19. We're going to talk about what we're going to do for round 20. Alright, so see you soon. Alright, now that we've finished round 19 and we've slip stitched into the top of the chain 2 to close that round, we're going to start work on round 20. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 1, and then beneath that chain of 1 into the stitch beneath that we're going to single crochet, and then we're going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to skip the next stitch along from that single crochet that we've done, and into the stitch after that we're going to do single crochet again, then 1, 2, 3, skipping the next stitch along, single crochet into the stitch after that. So it's the same as that previous round we did of single crochet, chain 3, skip a stitch, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, single crochet, skip, single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And you're going to do that till you get to the end. At the end of this round, you're going to end up with 80 chain spaces. So we're going to meet back up then, and then we're going to talk about how to do the next round, round 21. So I'll meet you at that point, and we'll go from there.